Have you ever wanted to be an absolute menace in the Pokemon TCG? Have you ever wanted to spread damage around and completely dismantle your opponent's entire board? Or maybe do a bunch of snipe damage that completely gets rid of their important support Pokemon? Or maybe do an absolutely insane amount of damage right at the end of the game to completely shock them? Today, you can do all of that with this Iron Valiant and Cramorant deck, and the best part is you get to do all of this without attaching any energy cards. Today, we're taking a look at Cramorant and its Lost Provisions ability, which lets you use any attack for basically free as long as you have 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone. With the power of Chloris' Experiment and Lost Vacuum, today we can use Cramorant's ability to use the TMs in the game, such as TM Devolution, TM Blindside, and TM Crisis Shot. Couple this with the power of Iron Valiant and its damage spreading capabilities, you can completely dismantle your opponent's entire board in like 2 turns before they even get a chance to do anything about it. We're gonna hop right into the video and take a look at my Iron Valiant and Cramorant deck list. Just want to give a quick thank you to the sponsor of the channel, PTCG LOR Store. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcgostore.com and use code HITMON to get 5% off your order. You get a good product for a good price, and you help out the channel as well. So thank you to the sponsor for supporting me, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, we'll get right back into the video. What is going on, everybody? Hitmon chatting here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tech. Today, we're taking a look at Iron Valiant Cram, and this is probably the most fun and like one of the best decks I've played from Paldean Fates. It's actually really strong and has the ability to completely take your opponent's, by surprise, and they're just not going to know what to do when they are faced with this Cramorant Iron Valiant combo. We're playing 4 Cramorant in here with its Lost Provisions ability, as well as 4 Iron Valiant to use Tachyon Bits and spread a bunch of damage everywhere. We have 1 Medicham V in case we need to Yoga Loop, and 2 Squawkabilly to ensure we get that Squawk and Seize turn 1. For our trainers, we're playing a bunch of switching cards, as well as a bunch of the new TMs, like TM Blindside, TM Crisis Shot from Paldean Fates, and the classic TM Devolution. All of these cards combined with Cramorant's ability to not use any energy to attack means that we can basically do whatever we want to our opponent, and they're not going to be able to do anything about it. We're playing a bunch of different ways to switch in here, like Escape Rope, like Switch Cart, like Switch, and we're also playing the Future Booster Energy Capsule to give Iron Valiant free retreat, in combination with some other supporters like Iono and Chloris to help us build a good sized hand, and most importantly get 4 cards in the Lost Zone. Lost Vacuum is going to help us with this part as well, and we got 4 VIP, 4 Nest Ball, and 3 Pokegear to help us find those important supporters, and that's basically the list. In terms of energy, we're running 2, and they're just 2 double turbo energies here, so we can use Yoga Loop effectively. That's basically the list. It is really cool, and I think you're really gonna like it. So we're just gonna hop right into the video, get some dubs with Iron Valiant and Cramorant. Our opponent won the coin flip, and they're opting to go first over here, which is fine for me. I don't really mind. We want to go second. Decently solid hand. I can't complain about this. We got our VIP, we got our Chorus, we got everything that we need. And I'm just curious to see what exactly we're playing against. If we're choosing to go first here, could be something like Mew, could be something like Miraidon. Miraidon, most of the time now, going first is better for it because it can just get set up and it can't get pathed. It's going to be Gardevoir, even better. I love me a good Gardevoir. We're going to see what kind of setup they got here. I'm guessing they're going to go for concealed cards. I'm guessing they're going to have a way to put some Ralts into play. But if they don't, we can literally just go for a Switch Blindside. But they have a Level Ball here. Level Ball is going to nab them another Ralts, put that right onto the bench. And we're going to just see what exactly is going on. Another Level Ball to get them a last Ralts, or a third Ralts, I should say. So no donks for us. We're going all the way through, but we could potentially get a Yoga Loop play off. We have a double turbo in hand, and that's going to be it for them. So I don't necessarily want to Iono them here. Get a double Chorus, and I'm thinking the play is going to have to be the Chorus first. Terrible Chorus. I wish the Chorus wasn't this bad. We'll grab the Vacuum, we'll grab Medicham, and I guess we'll grab the Cram. I should have VIP'd. I was like, I want to hit Valiants, but I didn't hit any Valiants. So we'll do this. We'll get a Valiant and a Squawk. We can drop Medicham. We can attach to Medicham. Now this is really this really sucks. We'll go for the Squawk and Seize. That was a terrible Chorus. We needed it to not be that, and we almost have the Iron Valiant play, which sucks. If this was a VIP, we would have had it, but that's okay. We got 2. We almost had we don't even have the Cram attack either. But I think the correct play here, I should have Escape Roped first. That's fine. For the Valiant. There's Ralts. And then we'll go for the Switch. Once again. And we'll pass. That was a really tough turn there. We lost both our Ionos. We lost 2 Colress. We had to get rid. We had a terrible Colress with no switching cards or VIPs. So we have a lot of dead cards in the deck right now. I'm sad. I'm sad about that. That was tough. Especially a good matchup too. That was bad draws if I've ever seen them. Here's a Fog Crystal coming from my opponent. They're likely going to grab their 4th and final Ralts. Or they're going to grab a Cresselia, which I also am not a fan of, but they're going to need to find Rare Candy Gardevoir in order to even use it here, because they didn't get a first turn attachment off on the Greninja. So it could be just a card they're prepping for later. In that case, as long as we find a switching out, we're good to go for a Yogaloop on this Ralts. It could be the pass from here, though. They know we have a 3-card hand. If they're going to play Supporter, it's very likely going to be an Iono. Why? What? Why is Gardy playing Switch? I'm not a fan of any of this that's going on. I'm not a fan of. They're going to go for the Iono here. They're probably just trying to get a single energy to get this damage off here. At least we got into a Colress, and we have TM Devo to help us go throughout the game. Again, we can also kind of just smack this this Luxurious Cape, get it out of there, thanks to our Lost Vacuums. But we're going to be able to thankfully get a Cramorant attack going here. Maybe they found no energy. I think they already have 2 accounted for, and a Fog Crystal as well. Could just be a pass from them. They have no level ball, or like maybe 1 if they play 3, which they probably should, so they probably have level ball access. But there's a Rare Candy going right into shining our car on a Gardy, but they don't necessarily know which Ralts, and I don't blame them. My guess would be the other, like, the little benched one, because you go up to 240 HP with that Luxurious Cape, but they're going to put a Refinement Curlia down. I think they're waiting to put that one into an EX, because that way if we Devo it, they don't have an answer. But again, this is completely fine. They have the Curlia here. We just need a lot of switching outs, and we're going to be able to get some things going. Yeah, things are looking fine here. They're looking fine. I would like to ideally get a Devo play after, or they found their energy. Okay, so they can Shining Arcana here. They can move some of this damage off, but it's pretty irrelevant. Actually, no, they can put 20 on this Medicham here. That's not completely irrelevant, because all they need to do then is knock it out. Actually, never mind. They just knock out with Guardy EX anyway, so that doesn't matter. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they got. We'll see what they have in the chamber. There's the Mirage Step Curlia, which is, again, completely fine. Don't really care about that. I'm expecting them to Moonglowth Reverse, but I actually don't think they're going to. I think they were really trying to find Guardy EX to move a bunch of damage onto, like, the Squawkabilly. So maybe they might not go for the Moonglowth Reverse here. They're gonna... Why is Gardy playing these cards? What is this? Literally, what is happening here? Why is Gardy playing these cards? I don't understand. They're gonna go into the... Oh. That's interesting. Reversal's not doing anything for you, my friend. I apologize. I have not taken a knockout yet, but maybe they're just preparing themselves, and they're just going to pass. So here, my goal is to, well, not draw VIP passes. My goal is to get both of these Curlias knocked out, which we have a chance of doing. With the help of Colress's Experiment, we can literally get these are all perfect cards to have. I really would like to get another Valiant down, but I think these 3 cards guarantee us the Yogaloop. So I'm good with that. I could also Town Store here. Actually, I want to Town Store. I want to grab our 4 Seal Stone. With the 4 Seal Stone, we can grab ourselves our last Chorus to draw more cards. So this is how I want to play this hand down. I want to go for 1 switch. And I want to put this... Hold on. This is Rare Candied. So I want to put definitely 20 here. I want to go for a... It doesn't matter the order necessarily, so I'll go for the switch. I'll Iron Valiant. Put another 20. On the benched, Curlia is important. Then we can retreat. Go into Medicham. The Lost Vacuum can get rid of the Luxurious Cape, which I could have tried to get 2 prizes on this Curlia, but it was never going to be worth it. Then here, we can go for the Yogaloop, and now we have the Yogaloop on this Curlia. Goodbye, Curlia. We have 4 Seal Stone, and now we need to find our other Valiant to keep going, or we can just use Blindside. That's my other kind of win con here, is we just switch, boom, Blindside, and hit them really hard. Counter Catcher, not very useful, but I do want to go for the Town Store. And I think Town Store, it's more optimal to keep the Blindsides in here. We can drop this Forest Seal Stone, and we're definitely going to use it right away. And Star Alchemy is going to net us a Colress, 100%. We have some switching outs, not a lot left though. We can go for the Colress. Colress can grab us Valiant, Vacuum. Double Valiant is fine. We don't need more than one Crisis Punch in this matchup. So these are A-okay. And I'd like to go for the PokéStop here as well. PokéStop's going to be really good at hopefully nabbing us those last few Switch cards. We get Switch Cart. All this is nice, well, and dandy. And we could put another Valiant down. Another Valiant would let us... See, if we were able to get 3 switches, that would be good. But we don't have access to that. We've got all of our supporters gone, so we might as well take a peek at what's in the deck with Pokegear. We have 2 switches still. And I think the Blindside is the most important thing here that can happen. So I think... Do we have any energies gone? I don't think we do. We don't. So going for the manual retreat here, just right into the Cramorant, is really solid. And we're going to Nest Ball for another Cramorant here. We have a lot of switching outs left, so we could use them. But I want to wait for these guys. I literally just want to throw the TM down. And I want to hit them with the Blindside. I think I got everything accounted for. We'll go for the Blindside. Smack that Curly across the face. They don't have any, like, they have a very few draw power. No Gardevoir EX can be established. The reversal is activated, that's fine, but it's very easy for us to knock this Shining Arcana Gardevoir out. They have essentially 4 cards they can see. They can Iono us, but that's not really going to matter. It's just going to put a bunch of switching cards into play, and then we can just do more switches, and we'll be okay. Not having the other Blindside is kind of bad, though. If that gets put to the bottom of the deck, that'll be pretty rough. But right now, they have draw 2 with Shining Arcana. They can knock us out with Brainwave, and then after that, if they don't find any other basics, reminder of what they've played. They have a solid 2 Ralts down. They've got the Ultra Ball, but at what cost? They got rid of their Gardevoir EX. I guess that's not really relevant to them right now, so that kind of doesn't matter too much. But they have the Ultra Ball, so they can use Ultra Ball to grab themselves another Ralts. In that case, that's why we'd want to Blindside them a second time. We can just throw a damage counter, retreat, and Blindside them across the face, and then we keep their draw limited. This is why, this is where having those extra Ionos would be really, really good. If we had more Ionos, we could be playing them to our advantage. But we had to discard them both early on, unfortunately. There's an Artisan, so they do have their other, what's it called? They have their other Ralts, but they had 6 prizes. There's a chance that one of them are prized. So if we can maybe get rid of this Ralts here, I think we would be in a decent spot. We have a pretty big hand. They probably don't want to Iono us away, but there's a Fog Crystal going for an energy. Okay, this signals something to me. So this signals that they're going to attach that energy, and they're going to go for a counter catcher play on Squawkabilly. That's kind of what this signals to me. Or concealed cards. Maybe I didn't expect that, to be completely honest. Maybe they need to find Rod. Maybe they have 2 Ralts prized. I'm not entirely sure. Their third one is in play, so they can only have 1 prize. But maybe they have 1 prize, which wouldn't surprise me. Again, they're playing 2 switches in here, which is really weird. So it's possible, but they do have the counter catcher play. Medicham they can knock out as well. I kind of forgot about that, to be honest. And we should have our Super Rods. Oh, we had to get rid of the Super Rod too, that's right. So, okay, Medicham getting knocked out, really good for us. Well, getting an open bench spot is really good for us, because what we can do here is very easily KO them with Cram. So we'll leave with Squawk. We just need to find a switch, pretty much. Town Store doesn't quite get us there. Let's use the Artisan just to take a quick peek at what's going on. Nothing insane in there. This is all that we got for our Pokemon, so I think we'll put this Valiant down. We're close. We're very close to getting a KO here. We were almost there to getting a KO on this Gardevoir. We're definitely going to Lost Vacuum this Artisan away. There's 0 question about that. But the play is very likely to go for... Yeah, we can't even Blindside them. We almost got there. We'll go for a switch on this Valiant. We're going to ping that Guardy. Retreat and go for Cram. 1 more switch would have gotten us there, but next turn we can very easily just find an Escape Rope. We Escape Rope, hit them, they get knocked out, find another switch, we switch, retreat, and then blindside the Cresselia or something like that. I can see them going for a Cresselia play here. If they can find a Psychic Energy, they got a big hand. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for an Iono at this point. But again, it might be really tough for them to reestablish their board of Ralts. We kind of picked it apart really easily. They have a Shining Arcana draw, and that's about it. They can knock out the Cramorant here, but they're going to need an attachment plus a boss, I think. There's their Super Rod, but we got rid of their Artisan, so they can put some Ralts back. Maybe try and draw into them. But this is a decent spot for us to be in. It's just going to be Ralts and Gardevoir? Oh, no, they put 2 Ralts, but the game just didn't show it for some reason. There is one of the Ralts, and we'll see if they have another basic search. They have the Ralts down there. I personally wouldn't have done that. I don't know what they're trying to find. I would have gone for a Shining Arcana play first to try and draw into the Ralts. I think that would have been a little bit more optimal because then you can level up for the second one. I digress. There's a concealed card, so they have more cards to draw here. Again, no Gardevoir EX in play. And Reversal actually doesn't do anything right now, so our Cramorant gets to live for free. And that's pretty dang awesome. So what can happen here, if they don't find their last Ralts, is we just go for a Switch, Retreat, Blindside, and we smack that Ralts across the face as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to stop them again from getting a Gardevoir EX in play. And then they're going to have a bad time, pretty much. And that's kind of the whole aim of this deck, is to kind of just be funny and stop them from getting any big KOs here. I don't know if they've seen us have Crisis Punch. They probably have. And there's the Ultra Ball, so that signals to me that they're going to grab their other Ralts. They put Lost Vacuum as well. I wonder what they made room for with these different switches. Like, why do they have Switch and Escape Rope? What did they cut? I do not know. But they're going to put Ralts on the bench. And they can't actually attack us this turn. So we're yearning to find a switch. We're yearning to find a switching option here, like a Escape Rope or a Retreat or whatever. And we're going to be in a pretty solid spot. We could hit them with a Devo as well, but I don't necessarily want to give them access to Shining Arcana Gardevoir. I would rather just like Escape Rope, send it to the bench, and then smash whatever they have in the active spot. Here, we're going to grab a Switch Cart, which is exactly what we need. So we'll Switch Cart right into this Iron Valiant, and we'll take out this Gardevoir. Here, we want to race them in the prizes. That's kind of what we're trying to do. Get a single prize, which is going to be an Escape Rope, which is actually perfect for us because they're going to send up something that they don't want us to hit. And through that, we're going to get to blindside something else because we got this Escape Rope off the prizes, which is really, really solid. They're sending up Greninja. That's completely cool. I'm going to go for a Retreat. And I'm going to use Iron Valiant. I'm going to ping this Ralts. And now guess what? Escape Rope. What are you going to give me in the active? Are you going to give me a Ralts? Or are you going to give me the Cresselia? Probably the Cresselia, right? That's exactly what I thought. Well, I'm going for the Cram. And you're getting blindsided, my friend. Go for a big blindside. Hit this Ralts. And that Ralts is gone again. You don't have any draw power on board now. They're probably just waiting to find their Gardevoir EX. We get Devolution. Devo is going to be really key here because they're going to self-damage a lot, and all we need to do is like switch one time. We have 3 rope and 2 switch left. We just need to like switch once and then, or switch twice and then Devo that Ralts, and that's going to get knocked out, and like they're not going to be able to finish the game. So now we're kind of just waiting to see what they do. Starting off with concealed cards as always, drawing some more cards, that Greninja being really crucial to this deck's game plan. They have the Screamtail, which is a bad card to have. Going for the Artisan, but my friend, you don't have any Ralts left in your deck. I decimated them all. They're gone. They're gone. They do not exist, my friend. I apologize. There's the Iono that I was expecting from them. Another reason I wanted to keep the Town Stores. The Town Store can easily fetch us RTMs in the future. We get Escape Rope, we get Nest Ball to shuffle if they take a knockout here, which I'd be surprised if they did. They need Rare Candy plus Gardevoir EX. There's a Level Ball, which can nab them a Curlia and get them to draw more cards, and that's completely okay. We don't have access to any sort of blindside anymore. But what's going to happen here is they're going to refine away some more cards, just get to draw some more. And we want to start putting damage on this Curlia but we don't want to do it super early. We want to, like, it's tough to do this here. But I think the play, okay, we're going to use Pokegear, shuffle the deck. That's, like, literally the only reason. We just want to get this shuffled up. And now, I'm feeling an Escape Rope play. You know, they got a lot of energy in the discard. And I'm fine to hit anything on the bench. I'm fine to hit even the Greninja. So, we'll go for the Rope. And I could take a prize card, but because they have no attachments on board, like, you know, they could go for a Screamtail play. That's fine, whatever. They gotta bring the Greninja up, and they're thinking, well, what if he just Tachyon Bits it and retreats? I will go for a Tachyon Bits, and now this 2 damage is definitely gotta go on this Kirlia. They could Cresselia it off, but that's a waste of a turn for them, so I'm fine with doing that. And then we just retreat and we hit them with the Cramorant. Now the hard part about this is they have 1 Psychic Energy left in deck, 1 Reversal. That's usually the standard, right? They might have cut one of them in order to be able to utilize the switches. So if they don't have a way to retreat this Greninja, we can play around that for the rest of the game. And we can maybe go for a switch if we can find one off the top, KO the Greninja, then whatever they send up, we just hit it, and then they need to take 4 prizes in a turn, and they can't, and we win with our second Cram. That could be one of the goals. Our opponent's going for a Refinement here, and I'm curious what they're going to Refinement away. They need some cards. Maybe they have an Iono in their hand. They're getting rid of Reversal Energy, which I find really interesting of them. I feel like they're missing something in their hand. There's the, what's it called? There is the Psychic Energy going into Kirlia, so they've got to, what's it called? They got to pile damage onto themselves with Gardevoir in order to take a KO here. And as soon as we find TM Devo, we win, basically. Unless they have a boss or something in their hand. That's possible, but I thought they used 1 counter catcher, so they can use more. Yeah, and this is kind of my plan. Pile damage onto yourself. I just need to find Devo when I win. Now, good thing we got the shuffle with that Pokegear, because we have 3 outs, I think, in the deck to a win here. 3 outs, I think, is the way. Yeah, I think that's the way we have. But we don't have any more Crams, which is a little bit scary. We've only got 2 Crams remaining. So if they take a KO here, we're going to need to find our double turbo to be able to attack with TM Devo. So it's a little bit scary, but they do have the boss, which is kind of what I was expecting. We could also play a Crisis Shot, boss and Squawk. That's completely fine. If they have boss game, it'll be tough if they're playing 2 boss, but I don't think they are. So they're just going to KO our good pal Squawkabilly. And here, I think the optimal play is to lead with this Valiant just for free retreat purposes, because we can potentially KO this Cram. We have the double turbo. We'll go look with Artisan, see what we got going on. We don't have anything. We could get our other Valiant just to thin, which I think is probably pretty optimal. Do this, get our Valiant, and I don't want to enable Counter Catcher for them. However, in terms of our switches, we have, I think all of our switching cards are in the deck. So the cards that we're missing are like VIPs. We're missing a bunch of VIP pass. I think that's what our... Oh no, we have them all here. That's why. Oh, this is tough. But I think just hitting with Cramorant is the right call, because then we just need to switch with Cramorant to win, I think. So we'll just pike them with Cramorant. If they can't get another boss KO on anything here. They can KO the Cramorant. But then in that case, they're kind of screwed. They can use Cresselia to put damage onto an Iron Valiant. But in that case, once again, we just need to find another switch. That late game Iono is really, really tough for us. They have all energies accounted for here, so nothing crazy is going to happen to us. I think they might just hit us, in which case Crisis Shot is another one of our game plans here. Basically, you know, I didn't want to take a KO on that Greninja, because if I did, then they would literally just be able to go Counter Catcher, and then they could, what's it called? Swing, like Cresselia, and then swing. But there's the Miracle Force hitting the Cramorant, and it's literally down to a top deck, I believe. I think it's literally just down to our top deck if we win this game here. Very close game that Iono really screwed us up, having everything in our hand. But it is Crisis Punch off the top. So what we can do here is literally retreat into this Cramorant, attach the Crisis Punch, and boom. 280 big ones. taking the KO, the namesake of the video. We get to get that Gardevoir out of here, and we get to take the final 2 prizes of the game. So what do you think of my Iron Valiant Cramorant deck? This deck is insanely fun to play. I cannot lie. This deck is like the most fun to play ever. And it's really solid. I mean, it's got issues. It's got kind of the same issues as Entei Iron Valiant, right? It's got some troubles with Iono in the late game, as you would have seen with that game. But it has the advantage of using 1-prize attackers and pestering with 1-prize attackers. And if your opponent doesn't have a lot going on because you're destroying their board and they have to go on to uneven prizes, Crisis Punch is your savior. Crisis Punch can deal with any threat. That's the advantage this kind of has over Entei. Something that this deck really kind of wants is a boss's orders, but I can't really find anywhere to put it. You know, we have the 1 of Counter Catcher, which the goal is if we fall behind, we can make up for it later, but I can see the Counter Catcher getting changed to a boss, or even a PAL pad could be really good. So Counter Catcher is kind of one of your flexi spots. You could also get rid of a Pokegear, put in like a PAL pad, and then you get rid of Counter Catcher, put in something like a boss. Boss can be really good to bring something up into the active, then you play a switch, knock something else up on the bench, and then KO with the active one with Cramorant, right? That's kind of something you could do here, and probably a change I might make. But this deck's insanely fun to play, and I want to say thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed. If you disliked it, make sure you hit that button twice, and comment down below, what do you think of this deck? What do you like? What do you dislike? Would you keep on? Would you change about my list? And subscribe to the channel, posting multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week here on the Hitmonchanting channel. Trying to hit 10K by the end of the year, and we're on track, so please join along for the ride. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchanting out.